Hey guys, so just as you see in the title, I'm going to be giving you some advice about how you can possibly deal with anxiety, or at least ways in which I have dealt with anxiety and what has worked for me and when and where these type of strategies work. So here we go. All right, so yes, I made a list of ways that I have dealt with, coped with anxiety, and I just wanted to share some things with you. So first tip, take time. Now, when I say take time, I don't mean take time like most normal people take time. I'm talking about taking time when there's no overstimulation whatsoever. So you want to cut out any type of socializing, you want to cut out any type of noise. You pretty much want to be in as much silence as you could possibly be in. So for most people who want to relax, they might listen to music or watch TV, or they might be around friends. That's great for the normal person. Somebody with high anxiety, you want to cut it out completely. So I would recommend maybe doing some yoga by yourself, like in your room. You can YouTube a yoga video and just do that, something that's quiet. Get a massage, because typically you're going to be quiet in a massage unless you have one of those annoying massage therapists. You might want to take a bath, because obviously that's by yourself, hopefully, and maybe read a book. So those are that's my suggestion for taking time. Tip number 2, eat well. Now, this one's difficult for anybody out there, you, me, people that love food. It's difficult, but it is a life changer. Let me tell you, when you eat the right things and you're not just munching on a bunch of chips like I tend to do, you're not coming home and choosing to go to Krispy Kreme. You're not eating you're choosing not to stuff down an In-N-Out burger when you really, really want to. No, 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 no. No, you want to get yourself something healthy. I know it sounds disgusting to most people, but if you get yourself some, vegetables that you can just cook up really quick or eat raw, whatever you please. I know vegan is the way to go in 2019, honey, but that's not for me. So I might get some, I don't know, I do like to eat things like, I might get like fruit, hummus, like a wrap or something. Those are like my go-tos if I'm trying to eat healthy, or just limit how much you're eating. So if you are choosing to eat something really unhealthy or maybe not as healthy, then you just don't want to eat a lot of it. So that's my suggestion. Also, in terms of eating healthy, pay attention to when you're eating, like how often. So are you only eating once a day? Are you stuffing your face late at night, but you barely ate anything throughout the day? So those things will also change your mood and change your anxiety levels. But yeah, so practice makes perfect, people. Tip number 3, avoid alcohol and caffeine. I'm only laughing because if you know me, you know that avoiding these things as a teacher is very difficult. So if I don't have my caffeine in the morning, honey, my students know if I don't have coffee, it is not a good day for a teacher. We need our coffee. But I really do try to avoid it. And then obviously alcohol, if you're having too much alcohol, like if you're going on the weekends, we're adults, okay? We're gonna go out and have a drink every now and then. But if you're living your life like you're still 21 and you're having way too much alcohol and you just had way too crazy of a night, then you might notice that your anxiety levels are gonna spike. And I researched this because of my panic attack. Apparently, too much caffeine and alcohol can actually be an onset to panic attacks. So who would have thought? I don't know. Teachers, beware. Tip number 4, get sleep. This is another thing that's really hard for me. I'm one of those people that's go, 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 go all the time. I don't understand how people just come home and sleep. It just doesn't make sense to me, but it is really important that you get enough sleep because your body needs it. And I just choose to ignore that. But ever since I started trying to fit in at least one nap a week, it has made a difference. I wouldn't say it's life-changing, but it definitely lessens my anxiety, and it makes me feel like I have more energy, which obviously makes the anxiety kind of go away because I'm able to get things done and I'm not worried about anything. So tip number 5, exercise. This one should just be number 1 on my list because exercise has always been a big part of my life. However, I did not make it number 1 because exercise doesn't always work for me. It doesn't always work for people with anxiety. And let me explain before anybody comes for me. Not exercise itself, but the act of exercising. Okay, so if you have high anxiety, I'm not talking about, like, keep in mind, this is for a person with an actual anxiety disorder, somebody who has chronic anxiety, panic attacks, even possibly depression. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But it's not exercising. It's having to get up out of bed, get dressed, drive yourself by yourself over to the gym or wherever you're going to work out, be around a bunch of people that you don't know. It makes you really uncomfortable, especially if you're going to a new gym. Like, I haven't lived here for that long, so the gym that's over here, the 24-Hour Fitness by my place, I get very uncomfortable going there because I don't know where any of the equipment is. So I don't like having to walk around not knowing where anything is. It's uncomfortable. And that can be an onset to an anxiety attack. So I personally don't really like doing that. I like to be familiar with my environment that I'm working out in. And so exercise can sometimes actually cause me more anxiety. Once I'm comfortable with where I'm exercising, it's great. Exercise itself is amazing. Everyone knows that. Duh, it's part of your health. It's keeping yourself healthy. We get it. But getting there to do it is sometimes a mission. So if you're feeling up to it, you have the energy to do it, I would highly recommend just force yourself to go and do something, even if it's walking around your neighborhood, even if it's in your room and you YouTube workout routines or yoga or Pilates or something that you can do in the comfort of your own home. It's great. I would say 30 minutes a day minimum is ideal, 4 to 5 times a week. Obviously, the more you do, the better, without exceeding, obviously, too much working out, but who has time for that anyway? So you're good. Tip number 6, meditation. Meditation is something that's new to me. It's not comfortable for somebody who's not used to doing it, but it is really good for you. I actually got this advice from a therapist I saw not too long ago. And there's, I love how my eyes just started twitching when I said that. If you Google UCLA guided meditation, there's really great meditation that you can follow on there. There's apps like, I think it's called Calm. Headspace is a really good one. And there was another one I think I downloaded. There's a bunch. Just find what works for you. You can YouTube meditation as well. That YouTube has everything, okay? Just go on there, find something that works for you. I like guided meditation because, to me, I know this sounds weird, it feels less awkward when I have somebody telling me how to meditate, what to think about or not think about, when to be completely quiet and shut off from the world, and when it's okay to let your mind kind of wander around. It's just like a good thing for a beginner. Obviously, if you're pro at it, then you'll know how to do it and you'll understand the benefits a lot more, but definitely try it out. Number 7, humor. No. So, also, if you know me personally, you know I love to laugh. I love to make people laugh. I just like to be around happy-go-lucky people, because it does really help with anxiety. So even if something is a sad moment, and I know this sounds messed up, but there's some of you out there like this, like me, it's like, it just helps to kind of laugh things off and not like make fun of it or not be inappropriate about it. Like, I'm not going to go into a funeral and be laughing, but if, you know, something happened that isn't like the best thing, maybe you didn't do well on a test or something, or maybe you didn't get the job that you wanted, it's okay to, you know, say that you aren't that great or whatever the heck you want to say. I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody, but if you make light of the situation, it does help to ease your anxiety. It does help to, I don't know, just deal with it a little bit. You know what I mean? Tip number 8, know your triggers. And I'm going to keep saying this, and I'm going to always say this. I really hate the word trigger. I really do. But it's an actual thing, so I'm just going to say it anyways. Know what triggers your anxiety. This is so important. If you don't know what causes your anxiety, how are you ever going to be able to cope with it? How are you ever going to be able to know that, okay, this is going to happen, I'm going to feel this type of way, and this is how I'm going to deal with it when those feelings start to come up? Because with anxiety, once you get to a certain point of your feelings of anxiety, it's almost uncontrollable. So you need to know ahead of time, I'm going to be feeling this way, so I need to know that this is going to happen, and I'm ready for these feelings to come, and I'm going to deal with it this way. It's almost like having a game plan. It's just being strategic. So if you don't have a game plan and you walk into the landmine, you're going to get blown up, honey. So just know what to expect and know how to deal with it. Number 9, talk to someone. And I don't mean necessarily a therapist, but if you do talk to a therapist, great. I'm not talking down about therapists. I never will. Therapists are great. I personally know therapists, and they're wonderful people, and they have really good intentions. They are licensed, obviously, so they know what they're doing. So I would never sit here and say, it's a waste of your time. I haven't had the best experiences, so it's just not necessarily for me, but I'm not completely against them. It's just to each their own, and depending on if your insurance covers it, or if you found a therapist that works for you, that's kind of part of the battle. So anyways, but if it works for you, works for you. And it's just a tip. If you would like to try it, you should. Last but not least, number 10, keep your area clean. This is not an easy task for anyone, including myself. When I was younger, I had a really hard time keeping everything in my life in general clean and clutter-free, but it is a really good tip because if you have a messy area, whether it's a workspace, a living space, your car, I don't care what, it just makes it really hard for you to think clearly. It's almost like your brain is decluttered when your room or your car or your office space is decluttered. So that just has worked for me, not all the time, but most of the time. It's worked for me really great. You would think that would have nothing to do with your psyche, but let me tell you, just for like a week straight, because it has to be something pretty consistent. If you're one of those people that's used to having messy everything, start keeping your area clean and organized, and I promise you, you will notice a difference. I promise you. You will just start to feel better. You feel more organized. You feel like you could think more clearly. You feel more relaxed. And just trust me on this. Try it. So anyways, those are my tips and tricks. I hope you guys try them out. Let me know if you do in the comments below. And if you have any other suggestions or advice, also leave those in the comments, because again, I'm not professional. I'm not saying that, this is what you need to try. No, this is just what I've tried and what works for me. But I would love for this to be a community where other people can give me advice as well as me giving advice. That's the purpose of my channel. So let me know, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.